application. Okay, so most of the time in class today is going to be spent on that. And that's the last part of module 3. So this week you have your first module 4 assignment, and that will be due October 20th. So you have a validation and sanitization assignment that is due that day. And so Monday, the 18th, we're going to have an optional class session where I will give you some more guidance on getting this assignment done and answer your questions. So you will have been working on that this week, and then so Monday at 4 o'clock, I'll send out a Zoom invite. It'll be an optional class session. And you can come and I'll give you some additional information and answer your questions, okay? If, the reason I say optional is if you think you have this assignment well in hand and you know how to do it and you're on track, then you don't need to come, okay? If you guys are hearing some strange sounds in the background, it's a dog terrorizing a cat.
No, we don't hear it.
Yeah, well, you will.
Yeah.
Did you want to get the protection plan on there?
I'm okay, thank you. Awesome, thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
I'm trying to teach a class. Okay. I think I'm back. All right, so that's what's going on. And let's see, I should give you some information about the midterm exam results. I don't think I did that yet. All right. Let's see, questions in chat. Okay, I have a class right after this class. So I'm not available after class to answer questions. And so I did have office hours today at 1 o'clock though. And I have office hours tomorrow at 6. I probably won't be available until 6:30 because I have other students that have already made appointments at 6 o'clock. So Stephen, make an appointment with me for office hours, or get specific items about specific information about your problem and send me an email and we can work it that way. That's usually better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna hop over to Canvas real quick. Okay, the midterm exam, let's see. Canvas calls every exam a quiz. So anyway, so there you go. Average score 72, high 88. Okay, so that's the midterm results. Okay. So let me talk a little bit about the assignment this week. Oh, shoot, I didn't prep this for you guys. So I better do that right now. Okay, when did I say this was going to be due? October 20th. All right. Let's see. Okay, we're not doing that discussion board assignment. All right. So this is an individual assignment. It's due the 20th at 5:30. There. Okay. So there you have module 4 open and ready to go. So what you're doing in this assignment is you're going to build 2 or 3 web pages of your final project. So now you're going to start working on your final project. You're going to do a little work on it each week. And so this is the website that you guys proposed in your project proposals. So you're going to build 2 or 3 pages that meet the following requirements. So you need 2 or 3 pages because you need some kind of a home page. You need a register page. A page where your users can register to set up an account. And then you need some kind of a results page. So the purpose of the results page is to say, well, to show results about whether the registration was successful. You know, if all the inputs were correct or acceptable. And so that's why you need 3 pages. I don't know, 2 or 3 pages. You know, sometimes students will put the results on the register page rather than going to a separate results page. So if you want to do that, then you can get away with 2 pages. Okay. So what you have to do is utilize the framework provided in the Guitar Shop application. So the way you do that is you make a copy of the Guitar Shop application and then you start modifying the copy. Okay. So if you do that, then you'll be using the framework, use the model view controller pattern to route requests to your web pages through the request broker and controller modules. Okay. All right. Apply your website theme to all pages used in this assignment. So if you do this without applying your theme, you won't get all the points. Okay. So make the pages appear as they will in your final project. Now here, you might make changes between now and the final project. I just want to see that you have applied the theme and you've got a reasonable start on this. Okay, so your pages need to appear close to how they will appear in the final project, okay? Okay, this item here, I'll talk about in the optional class session if needed. Okay, so permit the user to fill out and submit a form. Okay, the form that you want to use is your registration page. Okay, and that needs to include first name, last name, email address, phone number as required inputs. Okay. So there are some security requirements here that you can read about, like don't accept the form as a GET request. And built into the framework is an allow list that filters GET requests. So your allow list should prevent any form submissions as a GET request. Okay, now you're supposed to sanitize all form inputs against cross-site scripting and take appropriate action if dangerous input is submitted. So I'll show you an example of that. I recommend using the hpost function that I provide in this validation functions file that I gave you in the Guitar Shop application. And by the way, when I'm talking about sanitization and validation, you'll learn about that in the study assignment videos for this week. So after you watch those videos, this will make a lot more sense. Okay. So you're going to sanitize all inputs against cross-site scripting. You're going to validate the email address, and you're going to validate the phone number. So with the email address, you can't use HTML validation because that is easily bypassed by a hacker. I suggest you use the email post function that I provide in the validation functions file. Now for the phone number, phone numbers can come in a variety of formats, like or you can have whatever your format is that you want. This first digit can't be a 1, right? 7 area codes don't start with a 1. You can't have letters, 714 A, B, C, right? So you need to choose a format that you'll accept as a phone number and then validate that using regular expression-based validation. So one of the study assignment videos is about regular expressions. Regular expressions are a text processing language that is used to validate text. So regular expressions are used extensively to validate form inputs. Things like emails are very standard, so you already have a function that does that. But other things like the phone number, there's no set way to validate a phone number. So you need to make your own regular expression-based validation. Now, if you study the regular expression video, you will know how to write a regular expression that validates a phone number. But if you don't want to design your own regular expression, you can get one at this website. That's regex lib. So let's go there and take a look at that really quick. So here, I'll just type in the kind of expression that I want. So I want something that validates a phone number. And so here are some regular expressions that validate phone numbers. So let's just look at the first one here. That's the regular expression code right there. Here's a description about it. So it matches hyphen separated US phone numbers of this form, where N can be between 0 and 9, and A can be between 2 and 9. So that prohibits the first number from being a 1. You can't have a 1 as the first number in an area code. And so here are examples of matches. Here are examples of things that would be considered invalid if you use that regular expression. Each post here has a rating. So this has, so it's like 5 out of 5 stars. Here's another one that allows parentheses for the area code. So that's a different pattern. So you can get into country codes, different formats. And so on. So pick one that you like. This first one, that first one's pretty good. I would probably just go with that first one. So anyway, that's a way to get a regular expression without designing one of your own. Okay. All right. Let's see what else in this assignment. Run your application on your localhost server, and next week during class, you will demonstrate, everybody will demonstrate this for me running on their own individual computers. Okay, so the Guitar Shop that I gave you includes a file, validationfunctions.php. So this is an enhanced version of a file, a similar file available in the LinkedIn Learning video. So when you watch the video in the study assignment, you will learn about validation functions. And the file I gave you has code that's very similar to that. The main difference is that the author, well, a new version of the video came out recently, and I haven't reviewed this chapter, but in the old version, the author didn't like the PHP filter input function. And the PHP filter input function has become current best practice in PHP. So the file I give you is based on the PHP filter input function. Hopefully the author has changed his tune and modified the video to highlight the filter input function. Okay. Yeah, this is an individual assignment. So that's what that means right there. Demonstrate running on your individual computers. Okay. Anytime you're doing something on localhost, that's individual. Okay. Yeah, the reason the reason filter input function is a best practice because the old way that the old video talked about doing it, and the new version might do it as well. It talked about accessing super global variables like $_post, and using global variables is not a good practice. So the filter input function avoids that, and so the version of the file that I give you is based on the filter input function, and it has validation functions like, well, sanitization functions like hpost and validation functions like email post. Okay, I mean the name here, hpost will sanitize HTML code in a post request. Email post will validate an email address that came in on a post request. So it requires the request to be a post as well as taking a look at the data. Okay. Now in the videos, you will be learning about CSRF, cross-site request forgery, and using CSRF tokens to prevent form spoofing. So we're not going to address that in this assignment. We'll be dealing with that as part of a later assignment after you learn about session management. Excuse me just a moment. Oh. Okay. All right, so that's the assignment. So let's see, what will that look like? So let me just run something here. So if I run the guitar shop, and it looks like I updated Windows today, so my web server is not running anymore. Let me bring that up quickly.
You can't deal with it.
I'm live here in a class, you know.
Oh. She did that. She's fired.
Hey.
Sorry.
All right.
Oh,
All right. So that's all running. Let me try this again. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's the guitar shop. So I go to the login page, you'll see there's a link to sign up now. And so I've already given you a form. It's not styled. You guys are going to have to apply your theme to make it look good. But here's a form I've already given you that has your email, first name, last name, phone number, and plus there's password, right? So, I mean, right now this doesn't do anything. If you click sign up, it just takes you to a results page, says please correct the following errors to sign up. So, I've already given you some code that'll help you get started with this. Now, if I go over to another version of the guitar shop, that has this assignment implemented, I go to the registration page. If I just say sign up, now it says, please correct the following errors to sign up. It says last name required. So the way this code is written is just going to the first form field that has a problem and it's telling you about that one. You could write the code that tells you about all of them. What I have here is pretty simple. It just tells you about them one at a time. So if I go back, I'll just say me at me.
Mic off.
Not a valid email. Put in my name, phone number. so you can see that it caught that my email address is not valid. Okay. If I back up and put in a valid email address, me@me.com, now the email address will be fine. Okay. And then it, would catch some other thing. Now, so a styled version of this is what you should end up with, what you should have when you've completed this assignment. Now, cross-site scripting, okay? Cross-site scripting is using a form input to inject some code. So let's say, so let's say instead of, I'm a hacker, instead of typing in my name, I'm going to type in some code. So it'll be code like this. You guys learn about this in the videos. So this is me inserting some JavaScript into the web page through this form, through a form input. And this will, if this succeeds, it'll create a pop-up window that'll say the words gotcha. So if they can do that, they can do just about anything to you, okay? So if I take this instead of my name, I put that in instead of my name. I'm going to put in a phone number. Let's see. I'm going to change this a little bit. Gotcha again. 2233344444. Okay, so this is a cross-site scripting attack that's happening right here, okay? So if I don't stop that, what's going to happen when I submit this form is that a pop-up window will appear that will say, gotcha again. Okay. If I successfully stop that, then what this will do is it will go ahead and create a user account, but the user's first name will simply be this. So my way of handling this attack, which is what the hpost function does in the validation functions file, is it will take all the power out of this attack. Okay, it will take the meaning out of these script tags. It'll just convert this thing to harmless text. Okay, so you end up with a garbage user registration, but at least the JavaScript didn't get injected into your site. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and submit this. And you can see now that so it says, here's the user account information you entered. So this is a success message. You see the first name is simply the text that was in the cross-site scripting attack. So this has been rendered harmless. And so sure, this is a user account you're not going to want to use or have, but it's not hurting anything, right? It's taking up a record in your database. Okay. All right, so that's an example of what you should have for this assignment when you're done. Okay.
So this would be a sanitation, correct?
Well, it's both sanitation and validation. Okay, so sanitizing, that was sanitization, right? validating email address, phone number, that's validation. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. With validation, you don't want to accept garbage into your application because you're going to try to use that information later to do something, right? With an email, you might try to send out an email. So you need a valid address, right? If you don't validate that, you could accept some data item into your application that will cause problems later when you try to use it.
Okay, yeah, I think I got it.
Okay. So let's see, I'm going to go back to Canvas. Okay, so in this module, module 4, hello, where is it? Okay, so you have a study assignment here. So these are the video chapters that cover the material you'll be working with, okay? So the creating secure websites video, chapter 3, filtering input and controlling output, chapter 4, defending against most common attacks, cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, and then a video on regular expressions. So yeah, there's a lot of material on regular expressions. If you run out of time, if you understand more or less how they work and how to use them, you can go to the Regex Live website to get your expression. And up here in the validating input chapter, it'll show you how to apply a regular expression. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about applying your theme. Let's see, let me make a quick code change here. I get set up to show you that. Okay. Okay, so right now I'm going to go to an older version of the Guitar Shop. So this one looks a little bit different than the one you are working with. Oh, come on. Can't type today. Okay. All right, so here's the Guitar Shop. It's a little bit different than the one you are working with. The pictures aren't as good. The text is a little different. So now, so I made a copy of this. So I have another version of this running on my machine. And well, let me show you how to make a copy of that. Okay, so here's my File Explorer. And so if I start with the public side, so let's see, the public base folder for me is htdocs. Then I have all my applications for this class in a CIS 4270 folder. And here you see I have a folder for each application. There's DB Secure, Guitar Shop Old, the old version that I'm talking about now. And then I made a copy of this. I just copied that whole folder and called it Guitar Shop BT for B theme, okay? And then I started modifying that to make that my project, okay? Then if I go over to the private side, that's the public side, go to the private side.
So the one that says Guitar Shop Old is your copy?
No, Guitar Shop Old was the original. And so I copied this. And so that's the one that I modified. So you guys are working with a newer version called Guitar Shop, and I haven't copied that one and done this. This demonstration I have is based on an older version of Guitar Shop. So
Okay.
yeah. So you make a copy of your Guitar Shop, name it whatever you want, and then start working in the copy, okay? So, and then, so in this one, I applied my theme, okay? And so after I did that, this is what you can end up with. So there's the Guitar Shop, the unthemed one, you know, nothing fancy, no colors, no nice images. And so over here, instead of going to that one, I'm going to go to Guitar Shop BT. There. So here you see all the same content, and it has the same back end, but see, here's the same content, the same words. The same featured products, but now they're in a slider. So instead of just being on a page like this, they're in a slider. But you see all the same content. You know, the product name, the image, the description, the price. Okay. So how did I do that? How did I go from this to that? All right, so the process I'm going to show you for doing that is going to be based on the B theme. So I think most of you are using the B theme. Excuse me. So let's see, if I go to the B theme website, just looking for a place where I can get a link to that. That was on the website proposal page. So here's the B theme website. And so all you guys have selected a theme. Some of you didn't choose the B theme. Others have chosen one of the 600 pre-built websites as the basis for your project, okay? So, you know, let's say I went through here looking for something that was music-based because I wanted a theme that would work for the Guitar Shop, right? So I scanned them all and I found that I liked this one here, okay? here's some guys holding musical instruments. It looks like it's a music-based thing, so maybe that would work for me, right? So I click on that, and so here's a slider. So instead of having people, I could have instruments here, right? So it looks like I could adapt this to my project. So I'm going to choose that theme. So the B theme is really a collection of more than 600 themes, okay? So now, since I'm decided I want this theme, each one of these themes within the B theme family has a name. So the name of this one is, is Event 2. Okay, so finding out what that name is important. Okay. So now I go to where I downloaded the theme files. So I downloaded them and put them in this website template folder. I mean, you download them to wherever you want. So what I downloaded when I bought the B theme is in this download folder, and what I get is these folders here in a README file. Okay. So documentation tells you how to use the theme. All the content, all the theme content is in this HTML folder. So let's open up that HTML folder. And it has a whole bunch of HTML files. And it has some other folders, a content folder, a CSS folder, images, JavaScript, PHP, plugins, and theme, okay? So there's a variety of folders here and an HTML file, or a set of HTML files. So here, the home pages for all the 600 plus themes are here in these HTML files. So the theme that I chose is called Event 2. So I need to find the home page for Event 2 among all these HTML files. So I start scrolling down and I get down to where I start to see the files all have the word index-something.html. So these are, now I'm down into where the home pages are. So all these home pages have the format of index-something. So the file I need is index-event2.html. So I'm going to scroll down. They're in alphabetical order here. So index D, E, I'm getting close. Event. So here's event 2, 3, 4. Okay, so event 2, index event 2 right there. That's the home page for my theme. And I can double check it by double clicking on that. That will come up in a browser. Let's see, where'd it go? Yeah, okay. And so this is, when I double click on that, this, oh, shoot. I modified this for another class, sorry. Star rockets. Okay, let me fix that. Okay, so that's what it looks like when they give it to me. So it doesn't say Guitar Shop or anything. It has the content on there that they showed me on the B-Theme website. So this is the page that I want. They didn't give me the pictures of all the human models, but they gave me all the placeholders for where the images would go. And so all the layout is there. Okay. So I've just verified that I found the home page for my theme. Okay. So I'm opening that home page in an editor, and I want to go look inside of it. So here you see I have index event2.html open. And if I look inside, you can see there's tons and tons of HTML code. All right. So don't worry, you don't need to deal with all that. You need to deal with it a little bit, but you don't need to understand all that code. Okay, so this page needs support files. So what support files are needed?
CSS.
I've got a puppy here that's been calm all day, and now I've decided she's had enough. Okay. And I only have 2 more hours of classes. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Okay. So as I go down here,
Knock it off.
hang on. Athena, come. Athena, come. Come here. See if separating everyone will solve the problem. Okay. So up here at the top of the file, I can get information about support files. So here, these link tags will tell me my support files that I need. So here, I need a file that's in a content folder, event2, images, and then there's a file I need. Under fonts, these are web fonts. So the theme goes out onto the internet to get font information. So that's fine. You don't need to do anything with that. Down here, your CSS files. So you need this file, which is in the CSS folder. And then you have other CSS files that are in content, event2, CSS, and then 3 files there. Okay, so in addition to the home page, which you're going to copy into your application, you need to copy over all these support files. So as you can see, folders that I need are content, event2, and event2 is my theme. Your theme will have a different folder name there. I need the CSS folder. Here is another link which is telling me I need the plugins folder.
So you need all 4 of those CSS.
CSS, content with your theme name, plugins, and then if I go to the bottom of the file, all the JavaScript files that you need are down there. So in the JavaScript folder, you need jQuery, you need a whole bunch of things that are in the JavaScript folder, more things from the plugins folder. So I need content and then my theme name. I need CSS, I need JavaScript, I need plugins, okay? So in the themed version of Guitar Shop, I'll show you where I put all those folders, okay? So if I go into the public side of that application, let's see. Okay, so here's the public side, and here's the application that I've modified with a theme. Let's see if I can put everybody outside. Go on, go on. What you doing? Oh, I'm not getting any cooperation today. Okay. So here's the public side of my application. So I'm in my application folder on the public side. Here's my request broker. This folder and this folder, they were already there, already being used by Guitar Shop. So I've added the plugins folder from my theme, the JavaScript folder, and let's see, the images folder. Yeah, I added the images folder. I added the CSS folder. So I put all that on the public side of the application.
You just created those folders, right? The folders weren't in the text editor, right?
I copied them over from, I made copies of the, those are the copies of the folders that I downloaded when I bought the theme.
Got it.
Right? So those folders right there are this is what I downloaded from when I bought the theme.
So you just copied and pasted it. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So here's the download from the theme. There's the I didn't copy paste the content folder because Guitar Shop already had a content folder. I copy pasted CSS, images, JavaScript, and plugins. I just made copies of those over to the public side of my application. And so here's the public side of my application. So these are copies of folders, straight copies of those folders from the theme that I downloaded. Now inside the content folder, I had stuff there already from the Guitar Shop before. So if I go into the content folder, this was Guitar Shop CSS from the original Guitar Shop. This was Guitar Shop images. So I've just left those there. But this theme folder, my theme is Event 2. your theme will have a folder underneath content. So I copied the theme folder right there. Because your home pages for your pages for your theme expect all the theme content to be in a folder called content, and then whatever your theme name is, right? So here, this is in my base folder for my application. On the public side, it's in a folder called content and then my theme name. Okay, so I'm creating a situation within my application that has the folder structure that's expected by the theme. Okay, so.
That folder wasn't copied. You just made that one right now.
No, this one, that one is a copy. So I'll go back to the, so that's my theme folder. It's inside a folder called content. Content already existed in the Guitar Shop, right? It had a CSS folder and an images folder. So these two only have original Guitar Shop stuff. The theme, when you go over to the theme, it won't use that, right? But I'm leaving the Guitar Shop stuff there because I want to develop this gradually. I can't just flip a switch and have everything 100% across my website go from Guitar Shop to my new website, right? So you start off with a copy of Guitar Shop and then you modify it piece by piece, step by step. So for a while, you're still going to need these Guitar Shop files around, okay? But yeah, so this was a copy from what I downloaded from the theme, right? I'll show you where that came from. Go back to my theme download. So here's my theme download. Okay. There was a content folder here. If you go into that content folder, you'll find there's a folder for each of those more than 600 themes. So I scroll down to find mine. There it is, right there. So that's the folder I copied. And so that brings over all the style sheets, all the images, everything you need for the theme. So in my application, here's my modified Guitar Shop application. There's my request broker. These are files I copied over from my theme download, and inside the content folder, that is a folder I copied from my theme download. Okay. So instead of bringing everything over that's needed for more than 600 websites, 600 different websites, I only brought over the one out of the 600 that I'm using. So this folder here is unique to my theme. And when I say theme, I mean the one that I chose out of the 600 plus themes. These folders here contain information that's used by all the themes, all the 600 themes, right? So I need those. And then this folder inside content is specific to the theme that I chose. Okay. Now, how to get this to, how to switch my home page. So here's your first step, right? I've got, so I've got a home page that looks like this. And my first step is I want to get to a home page that looks like that. Or at least like this. I want to at least get to the Star Rockets thing, right? Later, I can start modifying the content to make it look like that. But I want to go from this as my home page to that. So how to do that? Well, I go find my home page file from my theme download. So here's my download. I'm in the HTML folder. So I scroll down to index event 2. Okay. So there's my home page, right? So I want to copy that home page. I'm going to copy it to the private side of my application. So all the support files went to the public side. This home page, it's a view. It's going to become a view module in my Model View Controller application, and I'm going to put it on the private side of my application. So I copy that right there. So I'm going to the private side of my application. So here I'm in the private side of my application. I'm going into the views folder. Now home.php is the home page for the original Guitar Shop, right? Right next to it, you see right there, index-event2.php. That is going to be my new home page. So the first thing I do is I just take that file and I rename it with a .php instead of a .html. And I do that because I'm going to be adding some PHP to it later. Okay, so just change it from .php to change it from .html to .php. Okay, so this is going to be my new home page, and it's sitting here on the private side of my application in the views folder. Now, how to get my application to display this as a home page? Okay. To do that, I need to modify one of my controllers. Okay, so let's see. I lost Zoom here. Okay, try that again. Okay, so I'm going to go to the controllers folder on the private side of my application. I open the controllers folder. So this is an object-oriented framework. And you see here, there is a default controller. So default controller is a superclass. So remember your class hierarchy from your Java class. Same thing here. Default controller is a superclass. All these other controllers are base classes that inherit the default controller. So the default controller has capabilities that are used by all the other controllers. And remember, the controllers process user interaction and they determine which web pages are displayed. So it's appropriate that the controller should decide what the home page is. So we're going to modify the default controller. So I'm going to open up the default controller in a text editor or a code editor. Okay, so here we are inside the default controller. Yeah, right. WAF is right. Parent, superclasses, subclasses are parent and child classes. So the default controller is the parent class of all the controller classes. Okay, so here we're inside the default controller class. And if I scroll down to the bottom of this class, there is a method called index. So in PHP, all methods are preceded by the keyword function. So if the module is a class, it's a method. If it's not a class, then it's just a function. But either way, the keyword is function. So this method name is index. And so this method starts here and ends here. At the bottom of that method, the last thing it does, you see right here, the comment says go to the default view of the application. So the default view of the application is the home page. So that's the line of code you change. And right now, what you'll find there is it will say home.php. It'll say views/home.php. So what you want to do is change that to views/ in the name of your homepage. Once you do that, then this will be the new homepage that is displayed. Okay. Yeah, so always, if you guys have questions, email me, okay? All right, so that's the homepage, how to get the homepage replaced with the page from your theme. And then from there, you need to change content. So I'll just give you a quick example of that. So here I'm inside my homepage code, index event to HTML. And so like the big thing across that homepage was the text star rockets, right? So if I just search in this page for the word star rocket, I find it right there, okay? So this will be really quick. This will be the last thing I show you. See, this is the homepage the way it came with my download. Here's the text, Star Rockets. I would like to change that to Guitar Shop, okay? So what I did is I found in the HTML code for my homepage, I found the place where there's that text Star Rockets, and I just changed that to Guitar Shop. I save it. I refresh the page in my browser. Refresh. Now it says Guitar Shop, right? So I didn't have to learn a whole ton of HTML to get this going, okay? All right, so that's all I wanted to show you tonight. So again, optional class session Monday at 4. And before then, feel free to send me questions in email, or that's preferable to setting up office hours, because I can support more students if you will send me emails, okay?
You copied, you made a copy of the public folder that you made, that Guitar Shop BT, in your private server, right? So in that CIS 4270, there was a Guitar Shop BT folder, right? That was a copy of the one that you made in HTDocs, right?
Hang on. Okay. So this is my private area.